Okay, welcome back to Optimizing Images for the Web. And in this segment, that's exactly what we're going to do. There's a couple of things that you should know. Now, in preparing for creating your images for web, you have to make sure you're satisfied, of course, with your image, the size of your image, as we did in the last segment. Or if you're okay with resizing it right here, on the fly, then we just need to open our image and we choose in Photoshop the File drop-down menu, and we go to Export and then Save for Web. Now, if you're working with an earlier version of Photoshop instead of the Creative Cloud, then Save for Web is what you would choose, and it would be amongst the Save or Save As area here. It's basically Save for Web. Okay, so both get you to the same place. All right. So I want you to notice about this Save for Web pop-up panel. This is working with optimization, and there are a number of tools up here in the top left-hand side. The hand tool will pan through the image so we can make some comparisons in some areas that we would like to. Slicing, well, we're not going to do that here, but it slices up your image into different pieces. Zoom tool, we can zoom in and out, although we do have an option to do that here or with a plus and minus down here at the bottom. Okay, and also, I wanted you to notice that in the middle here, we've got the different tabs here. So this one is 4 up, there's 2 up. There's also looking at the original, looking at an optimized version. Basically, I do like to look at the 4 up or 2 up. In the corner, top left, is usually your original. Okay, I'm going to go back to the hand tool and click on that. And that's basically where our starting point is. The next ones, as you click on them, then we have access to some presets. So if you don't know which preset, well, you might kind of guess. But I want to talk a little bit about the different file formats that we can save these things for. All right, so as a preset, I'm going to for a high quality picture. And the format, this next little drop-down menu here, has our basic formats. GIF is for flat areas of color for logos, and we're going to optimize one of those in just a little bit here. JPEG is for continuous tone, like photographs or images that have, even illustrations that have gradients in them. PNG, best of both worlds, although I think PNG 24 is more for continuous tone than PNG 8. In my opinion, PNG 8 is very much like a GIF, and so flat areas of color, it makes the colors actually behave themselves. And then last but not least, well, very least, WBMP, which I wouldn't even bother with. Okay, so that's just my thing. If we go to choose a quality, now, in this instance, my picture is a continuous tone picture, and so I want to choose JPEG right off the bat. And I want to choose a different variations on the quality because I want to compare it here with the original. And also in these 4 pictures, you'll notice at the base of them, you'll see the name of it, that if it's the original, and if what we're converting it to, what the file size is, and what we're going to end up with. And then last but not least, at the bottom of these that are converted for or optimized, this tells us how long it will take to get this loaded into a web browser, and that can significantly be something that we want to be aware of, because the longer it takes for your images to load up, the more that your visitor is likely to leave the page, and that's not what we want. We want them to look at our artwork and not have to wait very long for it to appear. Okay, so it's always going to be a constant struggle between making the file size as small as possible with the highest quality we can get. So, you know, as we go higher quality, then the file size also gets higher. So watch out with that. All right, so I'm going to go with very high. Maximum pretty much gets us to what the original pretty much was looking like. All right, but it cuts down from 11.6 megabytes, and it always depends on the picture itself, to 2 megabytes. So we can actually cut down the file size significantly as well, and that'll affect that. Let's choose another one. Go to high. And this one, I want to show you what it looks like with a very low quality. Excuse me. And then if I were to zoom in, okay, this is going to be pretty obvious. The original is much more smooth. I'm zooming into the area. But I don't know if you can notice or not, but the next one over here, okay, it's lower quality. It's dividing everything up into kind of a boxy pattern of some sort, and it's throwing what we call artifacts, just garbage in amongst it. So it's like taking the detail and just generalizing it quite a bit. So there's a lot of damage done to this picture. Although, yeah, the JPEG size is 229 kilobytes, which is a tenth of the size of the high quality. So what can we compromise between? Well, this one is looking boxy. Of course, I'm not looking at it at 100%, so I could possibly compromise a little bit. Let's look at it at 100%. And I might want to go to, and very often I like very high, something between maximum and high, and most of the time that's good enough. Once in a while we go with maximum. I rarely ever go with low unless I'm just really don't care. Okay, so then down here towards the side, we want to optimize to be checked. Okay, we want that checked mark. It makes smaller size. Okay, I don't need anything blurred or anything like that. Convert to sRGB? No, not necessarily. We don't exactly need that. Then our metadata, yes, we do want to keep that. Then down at the end, the width and the height, I said in the last video that I wanted the highest dimension, largest dimension would be 1200 across. That's in terms of pixels. Keep the aspect ratio the same. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And what that will do is we'll get to where are we going to save our files. So I said that I needed to start with a folder of all my optimized images, and that was ready to go. That's why I want to prepare that beforehand. I'm going to go ahead and open that up, navigate to it, and save my image. Now what it did was Photoshop took and saved that file under the a new area, and in fact what I have right here is color range and the before picture, and this is my original. So if I go to close my original, okay, I'm going to say don't save. Alright, there is something that I actually forgot. Oh, good heavens. Alright, so one of the things that I do like to do if I'm saving, now I don't want this exact same name if I can help it. I'm going to go ahead and rename my picture, but as you save for optimization, I either put a dash and put opt, or I put like web as the name to add onto there, or maybe even the file size 1200 px, so I know it's that version of it. Okay, in fact that's probably the best situation. And notice that there's no white spaces in the name. When you're optimizing for web, this goes on the internet, and the way that it works is no white spaces in the naming of anything on the internet. Okay, so I got another picture here. This is a little different situation where I've got flat areas of color. Oh yeah, so this image is already pretty much put as a as a GIF, but I want to kind of resize this. And in this case, I don't have nearly enough or surrounding it because I want to put like a white background down beneath this. And that's okay because I want to have enough image around the whole thing that was touching on the edge. Now, if I were to optimize and have it so that the background is transparent, there is a way to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and crop that. You notice that I made that a little bit bigger. Well, you can do that with cropping. It's just going to add a little room, or if it's got a color in the background, it will use the background color to put that in there. All right, so this one is flat areas of color, and I'm going to go ahead and export, save for web. And in this one, I want to choose a GIF, but still, it's transparent. So if I uncheck the transparency, that's something. So, but if I want to use it for a website logo, I would check transparency. Okay, the matte finish is what's going to be in the background, or in other words, an eyedropper color. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck transparency. All right, but it's kind of, sort of, maybe a bit pixely on this. I don't know. It may just go with it as it is. There only seems to be a very limited number of pixels in fact. So if I were to pick 4, it's not going to make any difference. But usually there's a color table full of colors, and the limitation is up to 256 colors. And so as we go from 256 down and down and down to a smaller number in the color table, then the file size also goes down. So you kind of have to watch and take a look at the compromise between the different pictures. And then you can see here as a JPEG, yeah, it's really kind of looking miserable. The color is not maintaining all the way across within those shapes. All right, I'm going to keep it as the same exact size and go ahead and save that. Okay, my logo for web. I'm not making it any bigger because if we resample and make it bigger, yeah, that's a bad idea because, again, you compromise on the quality heavily. It takes a heavy hit as far as the quality and the detail. You lose a lot of detail. Okay, so as you work with images that you made drastic changes to, so you may wish to optimize the before image and the after image with the changes so that your portfolio reflects those skills clearly. So you can see here I would be optimizing. I have a before picture and I have an after picture. So in the next video, which is our last one in this this little series working with multiple images, we're going to make a contact sheet, and so we'll see you in the next video.